From outer space, the Earth's atmosphere can be clearly seen like a halo around the planet. And within it, the stratosphere extends to a height of 160,000 feet. In the 1950s, few people actually believed that even jet aircraft could fly to that altitude. But a team of intrepid scientists and some courageous aircrew decided to show that they could. They fitted liquid-fueled rocket motors to a medium-sized bomber and established a world altitude record of 70,308 feet. One of that team was a pilot called Peter De Salis.
Well, I was first involved with this aeroplane as a result of being seconded from the Air Force to come and fly a modified aircraft with the Scorpion Canberra for special duties with the Air Force, and we were initiated into flying the Scorpion rocket motor in this very aircraft 40 years ago. And it's an enormous pleasure for me to come back and see this aircraft, which has been faithfully restored and made airworthy by some dedicated bunch of enthusiasts. And it's now 40 years today that this one gained the world altitude record. I in fact flew it about 2 months after it gained the world altitude record, and as a result of the Scorpion Canberra, which we were flying in our modified aircraft, we gained another world record for the Scorpion in the fact that mine misbehaved and we had to eject at 56,000 feet from the second aircraft. That is now no longer available. It's in many pieces, and it makes it even more of my pleasure nostalgically to come back and see this aircraft 163. Well, we'd been up to just over 60,000 feet checking the aircraft for a particular part of the system, and because we weren't operating from our normal airfield, we were operating from RAF Hemswell near Lincoln, we agreed to burn off all the rocket fuel, and when we got back down to 56,000 feet, we lit up the rocket motors, made funny noises, and a few seconds later there was the biggest bang I want to hear. It was described by the farm workers on the ground as an average-sized thunderclap. You broke the back of the aircraft off, and the aircraft went into a bunt, and I ejected through the canopy successfully. I'm still here, and my navigator did the same, Pat Lowe, and he went out the back behind me. The ejection seat was a world record for Jimmy Martin, the Martin Baker seats, and I understand it still is the highest emergency ejection. Well, the Canberra was an aircraft on its own. It was a unique aircraft. It was 15 years ahead of its time. And to get back in this aircraft now in an airworthy condition, I have nothing but total admiration for the bunch of enthusiasts who have made this situation possible. It is an aircraft that hasn't been heavily used in its life, and it has got plenty of airframe hours and engine hours left. It's not a cheap airplane to operate. It costs £250 to start 2 motors, and I know that the owners are wondering how long they can go on operating it, but I have even more admiration for their dedication and love of such an aircraft. A unique aircraft. It was years ahead of its time when it flew in 1947, and I think this one actually flew in 52, but the original prototype was 47. And 40 years on, it makes me feel a lot younger.